Hey guys, right in this video I'll try to import two different plans. Like we are having maybe assume that we are having a 15-story building. Right in this 15-story, from base to maybe 7, we are having plan a.dwg, a drawing file called plan a.dwg. From then 8 to maybe 15 we are having plan b.dwg. This situation is quite common nowadays, as we will be having two different structures in a single building, so we might need to import two different plans for those buildings here. So in this video I'll try to teach you how to do that procedure. Assume that the plan A, I don't have any clear picture on how the plan A gonna be like. Assume that this will be very simple, so let's draw plan A. Maybe the structure might look something like this. Okay, we'll be having columns at these intersections. Let the size for the column be 40 centimeter by 40 centimeter. These and all are the columns. Okay, I'm picking a little bit strain to draw using this mouse. Okay, anyways, okay, this is the plan A. Here we are having slab 1. Let it be maybe this could be like a bedroom, and this will be also a bedroom, and this will be like opening. Okay, this is the plan A, and let's copy plan B is also like this, with a slight difference of removing that opening. This will be like again a bedroom, this will be like maybe a toilet, this will be again like a bedroom. So the primary difference between these two planes are we are replacing those opening with a slab called toilet. And also let's say that the size of the column will be different, so rather than 40 by 40 column we can provide maybe 20 by 20. 20 by 20 will be very small. Yeah, okay, so maybe this could be like 30 by 30. I'm not really interested in these sizes, as the main aim of this video tutorial is to inform you how to import different plans here. Okay, these are the sizes, and also let's change the size of this beam here. Okay, I'm not really interested in size, but this will follow a different size. Maybe let it be beam, it can be like 600 by 200, and all the other beams are maybe 600 by 230. Okay, so in this video I'm importing different type of beams into ETABS, and also importing different type of columns in ETABS, and also importing different type of slabs and opening in ETABS. So first let's create this type of asset in ETABS. Alright, as you might know that the structure will be vertically continuous, so I'm picking a point origin, which could be like A here and A here. Okay, we are having columns on these corners. I'm so much lazy to recreate that. Okay, you got the point, right? So let's open AutoCAD, and the first thing that I'm gonna do here is get into units, and I like to draw everything in centimeters, so picking up centimeter will be the best option. Alright, the second point that we want to do here is we want to create layers for each structural object. Okay, create a layer. This will be like for a beam, comma. This will be like for a column, comma. This will be like for slab, comma. This will be like for opening. Okay, if you want you can change color, but I'm not really interested in changing colors right now. It's quite odd. The first thing what we would like to draw here is activate the beam layer, and let's draw beam. So maybe, I don't know the size, but the size can be like maybe like 400 horizontally, then it goes like 300, and it goes like again 400, and it goes like maybe 500, and finally let's, oh man, where are these object snaps? What happened? I usually turn this on. Okay, these points are here. Okay, so First thing what I've done here is I have activated the beam layer and I have drawn beam using simple lines. Okay. The next thing what we will like to do here is activate the layer for column and draw a column right here. I think the size of the column is a 40 by 40, rectangle 40 tab 40. Okay, and then I like to move this file by picking up the exact center or the geometric center, and you can place it right at the intersection point. Have to be very careful that this should be right at the intersection point. Okay, if not, if you have any slight variation difference in the center point of the column, okay, the center point of the column is right in here, this somewhere over here, that's not right at the intersection of these lines. So in this case the load will not transfer from beam to column. So in order for a successful load transfer, the geometric center of the rectangle or the column will be right at the end point of these lines here. Okay, then let's just a matter of copying first point. Okay, place it right at these intersection point. Okay, and the last point is okay here. One more thing I'd like to tell you is if we try to measure that this span is horizontally 8 meter by 8 meter, I don't think that this beam will be in the safe zone. So I like to copy this column here from first point to second point, and also maybe this right in here. Alright, this is essential for the successful load transfer and the safe zone of the beam. Anyways, I'm not going to design it. Alright, now let's try to activate the layer for slab, and let's try to draw slab using either rectangle or polyline. Using rectangle, I like to pick up the first point here and the second point is right here. Okay, there's another slab right here, first point here and the second point is right here. Okay, now let's go for opening, activate the layer for opening, do the same thing, use rectangle, pick up the center point of this rectangle and pick up the another center point of this rectangle. So that is totally alright. This is all about our plan 1.dwg. That's all about plan 1.dwg. Now let's draw the plan b.dwg. So after drawing plan 1, we want to save this file anywhere. The important thing is we would like to save those in DXF format. I'm having ETABS 2016, which was released in 2016, I think, I don't know. By saving it in 2018, I don't think this might gonna work. If that worked, it's okay. So I will pick the drawing file version 2013. This is plan A. Save it. Next thing is open a new drawing. The first thing is the same procedure. You might have to follow that. Pick up the units as centimeter, and we will like to copy the whole file. Use the command called copy base and pick up any base point. Okay, I'll pick up this point right here. Turn on a new drawing and right click. You're having clipboard and paste to original coordinate. This is very important, as if it's not being pasted into the original coordinate, will not be having the structural integrity. The column might not be continuous. They might be having a dislocation. Okay, so this is quite important to take this file into the original coordinates here. Okay, now you can have what and all the edits might be like. Now it's just a matter of editing. We are having a slight difference of the asset as toilet right here. So I'm gonna select this polyline, and I'd like to turn this UI into drafting and annotation, as I can switch these layers just a matter of a click. So yeah, that's now a layer for slab. If you want a different slab, you can absolutely create a new layer and do the same process, which I would like to show you right in this example of beam. Okay, the second difference is we are having the column of size 30 by 30. Right in here, this column is, I think, is 40 by 40. Now let's scale it by, I think 0.75 will work. I have no idea. Yeah, scale it, factor is 0.75. As you know, the math is 75% of 40 is 30. think so. I don't know. Okay, 40 into 75 by 100. What is it? 40 into 3 by 4. 40 into 3 by 4. This is absolutely 10 and this is 30. So the scale factor is 0.75. Anyways, that's not really important. And you know, you want to scale all of these things. Oh my god. Scale, pick up the base point, and the factor is 0.75. Okay. So I have copied all these columns, and also you can anytime you can create a macro for doing up these things. So AR action recorder for that. Well, anyways, that's not my concern right now, and that's not the purpose of this video tutorial. So we have changed the column and we have changed the slab right here in the opening. Now let's do one more thing. If by analyzing plan A, we are having a column layer right here, and so the column layer in plan B.dwg is quite different, so that's the size is being changed. So let's create a new layer, and I am going to delete this plan here. That doesn't get deleted. Anyways, before deleting, I like to create a new layer. Okay, one important thing that I would like to tell you is the columns in these two drawings are different. So if we create a single layer and assign these columns, that might not gonna work. So it's better to create a new layer for columns. So column in top story is gonna be a better name. Okay, now what we can do here is we can select up all these columns here. So either you can go for a single selection, or you know the total length of this polyline and get into the property. I think the total length is 120. Oh man. So understood the total length, so you can go for a quick select and pick up the polyline option here, and the length of the polyline should be equal to 120, and you know, include the selection set and hit OK. So you can select all these columns having same size like this. Okay, change the layer right into column top. Okay, great. Now we don't want that old layer, so I can anytime delete this old layer column. Alright, that is clear. Now let's try to change the beam message right in here. So in order to change the layers of beam, what we can do here is we are having a single different beam size here. So just the same procedure what we have done in column. So we create a new layer for beams. So this will be like new beam. So I just wanna change the name like 600 200. Okay, beam 600. Sorry, what's that? Beam. Okay, 600 and 200. Okay, now we want to select the same line right in here, and we can assign it to the new beam here. Okay, so that's all what we can do pretty much in AutoCAD. What you can do now is save this file right in desktop. It's the same extension, so this will be like plan b.drawing file. Now the simple case is you have to close AutoCAD. Do not minimize it. Okay, if we minimize it, importing doesn't work. You have to close AutoCAD. This is quite very important thing. Right in ETABS to create a new file. I don't know whether it's work or not. Come on, wake up. These ETABS will work in, oh man, this was supposed to work in 2018 data range. Anyways, I'm not really carrying anything. Right in here, take up the blank option. You know, units and all, I'm not really caring on what units you are picking up. I'm from India, I'll follow SI system. You from Britain or America, you follow their system. I don't care. These options are not really important. Ignore it and hit OK. Alright, so this is the screen when you picked up blank option. So right now let's import our plan. Before importing plan, we need to alright, this is your ETABS screen when we have imported blank. Before importing our plan, let's create the situation here. So Alright, from here you have to understand that from base to story number 7 we are having plan A, and from 8 to 15 we are having plan B. Let's convey this information to ETABS by using master story and similar to story option, okay? So maybe our story 1, if it's a master story, story number 2 to story number 7 will be similar to story number 1, okay? This is situation. We are not caring how base gonna be like, as the base will be having only foundation. So if we convert this right into story number 1, there's no situation, no problem arises. Anyways, that's it. Now we're having from story 8 to story number 15. If we pick up story number 8 as a master story, story number 9 to 15 will be similar to story number 8. These are the two cases which we would like to provide in ETABS. So let's convey that information by getting into the stories editing, stories and grid system. First we are having 15 stories. Okay, then modify that. Right from story 1 to story 7, we are having a single master story. Okay, for story number 2, I'm setting story number 1 as master story. Okay, let it be story number 1. Story number 1 is master story, and we want to convert all this. So there will be only a single story, single master story in this range. So until story number 7, there will be a single master story, and all the other stories will be similar to story 1. You can copy, paste these options here. Okay, okay, these options and all are clear. Alright, this is totally okay. Now let's say the same situation for the plan B.dwg. That is like for story number 8 to 15, let 8 be the master story. So this is master story, and turn off all the other master stories so we can copy this option here. Okay, and let's convert this into story 8, copy, paste. Okay, that is all clear. Refresh the view and hit OK. There's nothing else what you can do here. The important thing that you like to understand is from story number 8 to 15 there will be a single master story in this range. Okay, then the other stories will be similar to story number 8. Alright, then let's import the first drawing. Just like import the architecture plane here. Where is the file? That is like plan A.dwg, and this will be imported in unit centimeter. Remember the units which we have picked in AutoCAD, what was centimeter, and this will be imported right into story 1. Hit OK. You can see that the plan is right here. Its accessibility is quite a problem, as I like to revert back my background color. Okay, I got plan A. Now let's try to import plan B using the same procedure. Pick up plan B, and this will be imported right into story 14 or 15. That really doesn't matter. You can pick any story about 8. Okay, we're having Model Explorer right here. We're having two windows. The first one is the story plan, and the second one is the 3D view. Anyways, you can open anything, really doesn't matter. I'm gonna open the 3D view. We're having all of those layers in AutoCAD. Okay, these two layers from plan A and plan B will be merged into a single layer. The first thing, let's recreate all the beams here. So first I define the material. I like to India, and this will be like a concrete material, like maybe the grade will be like M30, and I'm not gonna change anything right from here. And also I need NHYSD rebar, so rebar, picking up rebar. Okay, and okay. Let's define a beam section here and add a new property. Pick up the rectangle section, and this will be like a beam. Remember the size? I don't remember the size. Okay, this will be like 600 and 230 beam. Okay, 600 and 230. Change up the size to 600 and 230. Modify the rebar, and I like to pick up M3 beam and change the rebar. I'm not going to design anything, so really changing doesn't affect. Okay, then let's take a copy of the beam, and this be like beam top story. Change up the material to concrete, and the size will be like 600 and 200. 600, and okay, this will be like 200. Alright, so all of these beams are okay. Okay, the second step, we want to get into here and pick up a similar story option. Right in story 15, get into story 15, pick up the draw option, draw beam. If you are not seeing anything right here, just drag it out. Do not place it, drag it back right in. The property for story number 15 will be like the beam top. Okay, what we can do here is this one will be beam top. Right click and add a beam object. See what's happening here. See what happened there? Nothing. Change it back into story number 8. That's why very important. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, now do the same thing. Get into story number 15. Right click, pick up similar story. Right click on the beam here, and I would like to add a beam object. You can see that all of those beams are populated. If you right click on this beam, you can see that the property is beam top. Let's do the same process for the other beams here. Okay, so get into draw, use the quick draw beam option, and refresh the set here. We'll like to pick up the beam, will be like beam 600 and 230 here. Okay, then right click on this beam here and add a beam object. You can see all of the other beams will be populated. Okay, do the same thing on story beneath. So you can get into story number 1 or 2. This is story number 2. Pick up the section, right click on the beam here and add a beam object. Here you can see that all of the other beams have been populated. Alright, this is how you will be exporting beams right from ETABS. Beams right from AutoCAD to ETABS. Okay, if you right click on this, you can say that the property is beam 600 and 230. If you right click on this beam, this will be like beam top. So the properties are quite different. Okay, and so now let's try to define column here. Unlike beams, the size of the column is already defined by architects in AutoCAD, so we don't want to change the size. So the first thing, what we are right in story number 1, right click on column, and we like to add a column object. You can see that the base columns have already been populated. Alright, now let's trying to right click and understand the column is size, the name of the column right here, that is fsec1 will be the name of the column here. All of this column will be fsec1, so let's try, let's confirm that by getting into the frame sections here. You can have fsec1 here, and if you selected all of the column named fsec1 will be selected. And now let's change the property, get into the section properties and frame section. The fsec1 will be right here, and modify that property. So maybe you can rename it like a column base. Change up the material for concrete, and we don't want to change the size as the size is already defined by the architect. Modify, and if you want to change anything right in here, you can do that. Okay, I'm not going to change anything as I'm not going to design. So that's all the case about base columns. Now let's see what's happened right in here. I think we are having an odd column here. So odd column, there is no odd column. So now what we can do here is get into the story above. So this is story number 15, and we are having another column. Right click here. We're having column top here. We are having column top here. Right click and add a column object. You can see that the column is again populated. If we select the asset and right click, and you can see that the name is again fsec1. Okay, that's really great. So now if you're trying to select using the property frame sections, we are having fsec1 selected. So all of these column until plan b.dwg 8 to 15 have been populated. Okay, now let's define change up the section property here. Get into here and modify the property, and this will be like a column top. Change of the material for concrete. This will be like an M30 material, and I don't want to change the size or anything else. If you want, you can pick up these options. I'm not really much taking care on these options here. Anyway, that's all right. So right now we have successfully learned to import different size beam and different sized column. Okay, now let's see what's the case for slab. Okay, for slab, we have to define a slab material by getting into the slab sections here. This will be like adding a new property called this slabby. Change the concrete material right in here and pick up the selecting option. This will be like maybe 120 or 125 millimeter. Okay, this process is the same as that of we have drawn beams. The same process you follow to draw. You follow the same process just for the slab case. Follow the same steps such like you have drawn beams. So getting to okay. Now let's try to pick up a slab. So the process of slab is same as that of the beam. So get into the quick draw floor wall option here and refresh this set and pick up the slab which we have already defined. Okay, now right click here and add area object here. So you can see that's already been populated. Right on this top case we are having 3 slabs here. So one is for bed, another is for bed, and one is for toilet. If you select it, these 3 selection set will be different. So the first slab will be selected, second slab will also be selected, and the third slab will get selected. So all these 3 steps, so all of these 3 slabs will be selected differently. That's quite very important, differently. Okay, then only we can assign different loads. If you see the selection set remains the same, I don't think that you can properly apply loads for each slabs differently. Anyways, that's the case for plan B.dwg. Now let's see what happened in plan A.dwg. Get up, get up, get up, get into the story number 1. Oh, this video is already 34 minutes and my god. Okay, I'm not changing any property. Get into slab, right click it, and yeah, before get into the floor plan option. Okay, you can right click the slab and pick up the area and object here. So I think we are having 2 slabs here. And there is an opening here, so let's draw, refresh this, and might gonna pick up opening here. Okay, then right click on opening and you can add an area object here to get opening. Okay, you can see that opening is. So that's all about this video. I know it's a little bit longer. It's right now 35 minutes. I will cut all those unnecessary skips. Skip all those unnecessary sections, and thanks for watching if anyone is watching.